Sorry I'm late. Good morning, rise and freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show on the brand new For Liberty Network. Yes, that's right. 1, 2, 3 shows adding to mine empire. Yeah. We shall invade Czechoslovakia and then Poland. No, boo. Don't be like that, AP. It's the Wake Up America show, Mondays through Fridays, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time, but I'm not the only one out here on the Freedom Watch. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we are taking back tomorrow today with Daniela Pensac's Culturama, 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time. Good morning, you guys. I did the show for like 10 minutes. I didn't even know we were live. I have to click start streaming and then go live, and it's just like, you think you click start streaming, but that doesn't go live because then you have to go live, click another button somewhere else to go live. And all right, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little hungover. Okay. Things were rough in Herman, Missouri yesterday. I left one of my studio cameras out there. At least I brought home the baby. It's so nice to see everybody. That's why my friend Angela said, don't drink, but once a year. It's nice. I hope that you guys are having a beautiful morning this morning. If you're not, by the end of the show, you will be. We're going to put you in a great mood talking about stories like the historic USA, the successful launch and recapture of a giant rocket by Elon Musk. It's breaking records. Quite a thing of wonder to see. Take a look.
We're now down to 3 Raptor engines. We can see those chopsticks now.
We can see those chopsticks.
Mechazilla has caught the booster.
Mechazilla has caught the booster. Where's my... USA! Only in America, baby.
We have successfully caught the Super Heavy booster back at the launch tower.
Congratulations.
Are you kidding me?
The good people of Elon Musk and SpaceX. I love this guy's reaction right there. Isn't that great? Love it. Eric Wilson over the chat says, funny watching the left hate science all of a sudden. Very good point there, yes. Maybe we should say Elon Musk, he is the science. A lot more than Anthony Fauci. But some people are really butthurt about Elon Musk. As a matter of fact, California officials cite Elon Musk's politics in rejecting SpaceX launches. Yes, that's right. State officials cited Musk. This is how Politico writes the story. State officials cited Musk's antics in rejecting SpaceX's plan to launch more rockets off the central California coast.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
No kidding. Here's the rest of the commie gobbledygook from Politico. Elon Musk's tweets about the presidential election and spreading falsehoods about Hurricane Helena are endangering his ability to launch rockets off California's central coast.
How dare you?
Okay, I come first.
Yeah. Gretchen Newsom out there in California says Elon Musk is hopping about the country, spewing. And do you guys remember that Theranos chick where she had the bug eyes and she got convicted of defrauding her investors because she was trying to do the Theranos? Is that what it was? She kind of this is what these California Silicon Valley government a-holes, wannabe Elon Musk types, but are really just posers. These are the kinds of things that they say, and they talk like, if they're a woman, they have to talk like this, because they want you to take them seriously. Like if you they think if you talk low like this is going to change their minds. You guys know what I'm talking about? Elizabeth Holmes. If you've never checked out that story of her and Theranos, and she had this for years, she put on this fake accent. They say things like this. Elon Musk is hopping about the country, spewing and tweeting political falsehoods and is attacking FEMA. while claiming his desire to help the hurricane victims with free Starlink access to the internet, said Commissioner Gretchen Newsom in San Diego. Boo! Boo!
God! No! God, please, no! No!
No.
No!
No, God, no. California tyrants. There's no better illustration of California's decline to banana republic status than this. The all-powerful California Coastal Commission voted to deny Elon Musk's SpaceX and the U.S. Air Force permission to increase the number of their rocket launches from Vandenberg Space Force Base near Santa Barbara. Well, and then the Texans were just like, yeehaw, Elon, we're going to take you down to Boca Chica here in Texas. Yay! Yeah! All my rockets live in Texas. That's why I hang my hat in Boca Chica. Boca Chica living la vida loca. It's crazy. She push and pull you in with Mechazilla arms now. Oh, they're careful. There's some harsh language in this video. This is civilians watching the flight, the return of the booster. You can see here. Check it out. There it is on the screen. Watch it come down. Now, understand the civilians are going to be like, oh, my F this, oh, my F that, right? Okay, so just FYI, there will be some FFs. Okay, here we go. Let's go. There it is. Coming down. Coming in hot. There it goes. There it is. Look at that. That's awesome. Oh, baby. Here we go. Slowing down. This was science fiction until last week.
We're now down to 3 Raptor engines. We can see those chopsticks.
You see those chopsticks. Chop, chop, choppy. Chop, chop, chop them in. Yeah. They packed my bags last night, pre-flight, 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time if touchdown brings me round here to find Kamala Harris wins the election over Trump. Oh, no, no, no. I'd rather have a rocket man. Rocket Man. Rocket Man. If you're enjoying the Wake Up America show, do not forget to click the like button. We have a great time here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. Send us a text message to 573. I know you will when something gets messed up. 573-319-1586. But for more than just technical problems that we might have from a one-man show, do call that, just text the number 573-319-1586 is the text line. If you had already programmed the number 573-319-1586, then you don't have to worry about me repeating it even one more time. It's nice to see all of our friends on the chat. Rocket Man. Elon Musk's going to fight the state of California for the right to launch because of free speech grounds, considering that the California officials are citing that the reason why they won't allow him to launch more rockets off the coast of Santa Barbara is because of his ownership of the platform X and what people were saying, not even him, on about Hurricane Helena during the tragedy. Elon Musk explained exactly how the Mechazilla can catch the super heavy booster. Take a look and a listen.
Custom-built tower with arms that are designed to catch the largest and heaviest flying object ever made and pluck it out of the air. I mean, that's the theory anyway. So
Elon just said, delete the legs, delete. We're like, well, what is he like? You could just use the arms, and then said it again. I mean, they go, wow, he's serious. Okay, we better get on this. And now it seems normal. Or
it'll weigh about 250 tons.
And that's just like, this is move fast and break things. As much as I despise big tech to a certain degree, right? I like X and I like Rumble. and I like locals, but you have to concede that things that are impossible could be possible if you're just like, I'll just do it, right? I'm just going to do this. I'm going to make it happen. Why not just try this idea? Things that I'm working on my meditations and my mindfulness and in critical thinking and creativity. And one of the things I was reading about the other day was saying that you have to, that great ideas, like especially for entrepreneurs, they sound crazy at first. And no one will believe in you. And just like his own employee didn't believe in him to an extent, right? His own employee is kind of like, oh, I guess that sounds crazy, right? And until we're like, oh, he's serious. We actually should do this. Build giant choppa-sticky arm and, eat some delicious nigiri sushi and maybe a little bit of barbecued eel, unagi don. I kept turning Japanese. The Wake Up America show, we get by based on the support that we get from our viewers and our listeners when they go to forlibertyshop.com and buy things like this. Now I have a machine gun sweater. Ho, ho, ho. The famous Die Hard sweater you can have to this year and wear all holiday season. Everybody's going to want to get the sweater once they see you wearing it, because you're going to be like Lucille Ball and her best friend Ethel in that episode of I Love Lucy when they are tricked by their husbands, Fred and Ricky, to wear burlap sacks out to a really nice restaurant to pretend like that was really important. Like those were really nice. That's the latest fashion. And then come the next week, because people had seen them wearing those burlap bags, then like models showed up wearing the burlap bags, and it's going to be like that with you. There's such a good feeling as when you're wearing a shirt and then a guy comes up and he's like, where'd you get that? And it's like, and that happens to me all the time, man. I got some cool shirts. I don't pay top dollar. I don't have to. I can get them direct because I make them, but you can get mine for top dollar at forlibertyshop.com to help support the For Liberty Network. Help me, I'm poor. Can you bless me with something?
Can you bless me with something?
Money-wise.
Oh, gosh.
Money-wise. Please.
Can you suck it?
What?
Head on over to forlibertyshop.com this morning. Get yourself some incredible merch like Now I Have a Machine Gun sweaters. And unlock the bonus content. If we hit $60 by the end of the show, then you guys will be able to see today's bonus content. And I promise you're going to like it.
We'll make that lighter over time. So you got cool a couple hundred tons, plummeting at more than half the speed of sound. So this thing is still coming in really fast. Yeah. Pretty much down in a downward direction. So then the light the engines, so it's got to slow itself down very fast and correct any error. So like whatever the XY error is,
and it does
when the engines land, it's got to take out that XY error, and then it drop the velocity to basically zero. Come in between the arms. The arms will be wide, and as it's coming in, the arms will close, go flush against the side of the vehicle, and the vehicle will be descending through the arms. And those tiny little, you can barely see them, the little knobs, those kind of lifting lugs will touch the top of the arms, and then it will hopefully not shear off and crumple. Success is one of the possible outcomes. The probability is uncertain, but
way to go, Elon. Here's a render from render to reality. Yeah, little Lady Gaga didn't hurt anybody. Don't wanna leave, don't want your kiss or a cigarette. Oh, don't wanna leave, Fernando, Alejandro. Look at these sick rockets right here launching and returning. The world's most powerful rocket. I mean, doesn't this look like a scene from a movie? This is real life. Elon Musk is making anime real. Don't wanna leave, Fernando, Alejandro. I really liked Andrew Klavan's take, which was, I believe, a riff on a Thomas Jefferson quote. Andrew Klavan over the Daily Wire saying, government, we must stop Elon Musk before he secures free speech for our opponents. Elon says, I think I'll catch a rocket midair on my way to Mars. Better an Elon without government than a government without Elon. Thank you, Andrew. Correct. And I see you there, Andrew. I, too, have read my Thomas Jefferson, who said, I would rather have a newspapers without government than government without newspapers. Thank you, TJ. Thomas Jefferson, Andrew Klavan, Elon Musk, the Wake Up America show, Austin Peterson. We're ready to get Donald Trump elected so we can see Elon Musk as the head of the Department of Government Efficiency. Look how efficiently he launches and catches rockets. Are you telling me that this is a man who can't make government more efficient?
Although there's a good argument for why maybe we don't want it to be efficient at doing the things that are bad. Why would we want it to be more efficient at doing bad things, if you know what I mean? But still, look at this rocket go. It looks like a big old Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Booster after chamber pressure nominal.
There he goes. The speed is insane. 600 kilometers an hour. 700 kilometers an hour, man. See, that is just spectacular. Don't want to leave, Fernando. Elon crunching the cost to manufacture a rocket in a spreadsheet during a plane ride in 2002 and realizing SpaceX could do it at 1/50th the cost is the most productive use of a spreadsheet on a plane ride ever. As Musk stewed about the absurd price the Russians wanted to charge, $21 million per rocket in early 2002, he employed some first principles thinking, drilling down to the basic physics of the situation and building up from there. This led him to develop what he called an idiot index, which calculated how much more costly a finished product was than the cost of its basic materials. If a product had a high idiot index, its cost could be reduced significantly by devising more efficient manufacturing techniques. Rockets had an extremely high idiot index. Musk began calculating the cost of carbon fiber, metal, fuel, and other materials that went into them. The finished product, using the current manufacturing methods, cost at least 50 times more than that. If humanity was going to get to Mars, the technology of rockets must radically improve. And relying on used rockets, especially old ones from Russia, was not going to push the technology forward. So, on the flight home, he pulled out his computer and started making spreadsheets that detailed all of the materials and costs for building a mid-side rocket. Hey guys, he said, showing them the spreadsheet, I think we can build this rocket ourselves. And I like to compare myself to the great men of today and to antiquity in my humility, and compare it to all of the spreadsheets and detailed battle plans I sent out to our friends that are launching the For Liberty Network this week. Hey guys, I think we can build this network ourselves. At forlibertynetwork.com, we will house, thanks to our friends at Locals and at Rumble, we will house all of the content from the Wake Up America show, from Culturama, and from Liberty Tonight. The two new shows, Culturama and Liberty Tonight, launching this week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're taking back tomorrow, today. Culturama, hosted by Daniela Pensac, is a retro radioactive 1950s themed, think Fallout meets commies meets Daniela Pensac fighting for cultural conservatism and liberty and justice for all. You can only watch Culturama at forlibertynetwork.com or on rumble.com/Culturama, because if you watch it anywhere else, that we have to post it just to try and grow the show, then you're a traitor.
How dare you?
I'm just kidding. You can watch it wherever you like, but I would prefer to have everybody join us on Rumble or on Locals at rumble.com/Culturama. Please follow her page. Thursday nights, things get a little wild. Things get a little wacky. Things get a little wet. perhaps a little weird. It's Thursday night, Liberty Tonight, 9 to 11 p.m. Central Time. After Culturama, the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. That's right. The king of all libertarians joins with Brian Piotr, the lowly Brian Piotr. To fight the commie BS.
But it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Life, liberty, laughter, Liberty Tonight. Live, laugh, love with the fellows at Liberty Tonight.
I don't know what's wrong with you young people.
Shut up, wine
You
aunt.
think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Excuse me?
You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
Okay, thank you, wine auntie. Donald Trump congratulated Elon Musk on his big win.
Like Elon's rocket. Did you see the way that sucker landed? Like Elon's rocket. Did you see the way that sucker landed today? What was it? I looked at it and I said, oh, that's too bad. Oh, that's too bad. It's coming down so fast. I said, oh, because he's our friend. We want our friends to be successful, and he's...
Exactly. Don't you think that that when you're watching that video that the rocket was going to blow up or was going to crash into the ground? It was coming in so fast, and then it just almost stops in midair and then corrects itself and then places itself, and the chopstick comes in and does the chopsticking. I mean, it was just a beautiful thing.
It's really been our friend, right? So Elon's rocket's coming down. And I saw where the engines came down. That was the first. A couple of years ago, I saw engines come down. I said, that was great. I said, why do you do that? He said, engines are very expensive. We can save them with certain formulas. He's given me these formulas. I'm saying, forget it. You don't have to be that specific.
He's so funny, dude. He is so funny. God, we need that back, man. America is just going to be so dark if Kamala wins. Why would we choose that? Why would people honestly choose the darkness? And people, look, you have actual competent people here, you know, that actually love their country and are doing incredible things. I mean, who in Kamala's cabinet is going to be anything special? I mean, you're famous for what? Like Pete Buttigieg, you're famous for being gay, right? What, like you were the mayor of a small town. Like, well, these are their administration. They're useless and they're incompetent, and Trump's trying to bring competent people in.
And now the whole thing landed. I never saw anything like it. And it's been through a lot. You know, you look at it, it was a beautiful, white, shiny thing. Now it's burned to a crisp, but they landed. It needs only a new paint job. That's a lot cheaper than building a new one, right? But that was coming down. I looked at it this morning. I said, look at that. Oh, no. That's terrible because it was coming down so fast.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, boom. And it's like got this much on his side. We're going to have to get Elon to explain that, but another time. First, we have to get elected, right?
Yeah, let's get elected, okay?
But he's on our side. He's on our side. You know,
way to go. Elon Musk bringing in the heavies. Absolutely killing it. Congratulations on your Starship Enterprise, Elon Musk.
We're now down to 3 Raptor engines. We can see those chopsticks now in here.
Oh, yeah.
Booster having current shutdown.
Mechazilla has caught the booster.
And they call it Mechazilla.
Are you kidding me?
Ah, baby, only in America, baby. Only in America. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful morning. Good morning, America. Yeah. Everybody wake up. Here we go, one more time.
Landing burn. We're We're now down to 3 Raptor engines. We can see those chopsticks now in view.
Booster, any current shutdown?
Mechazilla had popped the booster.
This is absolutely insane. On the first ever attempt, successfully caught the Super Heavy booster back at the launch tower. What an incredible view!
Are you kidding me?
It's a beautiful morning here in America, the greatest nation on the planet. Free people, left to their own devices, free of government interference, can do incredible things. Let us discover the most effective way to serve one another. And if Elon Musk has the opportunity, he will serve the people of the United States, as he says, if granted that opportunity. Elon Musk looking forward to the day that he sets up the Department of Government Efficiency, short for DOGE.
It's weird because, it's supposed to be the will of the people. It's supposed to be the government works for the people. And it's not that. It's some very bizarre, enormous amount of money that's being spent to make sure that the people in power continue to run things the exact same way. That's what I think they're really terrified about Trump. It's not necessarily even that he's a Republican. It's much more that he's a guy that is not going to play the game.
Yeah.
And then when he gets in there, he's going to like one of the things that he's talked about is having Elon come in and do some sort of a government efficiency agency. They're terrified of that.
Yeah.
Because it's not efficient.
Yeah.
And he's going to come in with like that Tesla mindset. It's like you're working 16 hours a day and you're sleeping on the fucking couch.
Yep.
We're here to get some shit done. And you try applying that to government, that's,
They're going to fight
he
so
shaved,
hard.
what did he shave, like 80% of the staff off Twitter?
Oh, yeah.
When he got it?
Yeah, he was like, what the fuck are you people doing? Why do you have so many people working here doing nothing?
Yeah.
And he was right.
Yeah.
He was right, especially if you don't want to censor people. Like, it's interesting how people react to it, that he's ruined Twitter, he's destroyed Twitter. No, he's you could still block these crazy people if you want.
Here's the thing about Twitter. We're number one on Twitter right now. Just out of curiosity, if the Wake Up America show was still on under the regime over on X in the old days, the old regime, do you think that we would be number one now on X and all live shows in our category? News, politics. You can find a list of live shows on the right hand in order of popularity and number of people listening. And we are number one. Thanks to Elon Musk, there's no way the Wake Up America show would be dominating like we are this morning over on X if we did not have the freedom of speech. You have to understand something about my past on social media. I used to dominate social media before Facebook cracked down, Instagram, Twitter back in the day. Like, I was consistently a huge account posting stuff that got millions and millions of views. Wasn't as big as like Ben Shapiro, you might say, but I would frequently send things viral and trend on social networks. They shut that down in 2013 and hamstrung my entire enterprise and set me back a decade. But I'm here, baby, and I'm back, and I'm taking over the mornings. If you're watching us over on Rumble or on Locals or on X, you are my preferred audience. No offense to YouTube at all, to the people who watch on YouTube. No offense to you personally. It's the platform I have a problem with. And I understand that for ease and convenience and so that you can still hear our ideas and coordinate with us over at the For Liberty Network, we do offer you that platform. And I hope that if you are serious about supporting our show, that you will consider at least making a Rumble rant or a YouTube super chat donation today. You could go to forlibertyshop.com and buy an awesome sweater like the one I'm wearing. Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. Yippee-ki-yay. Mighty Megatron wants this sweater so bad that he's about to go to forlibertyshop.com and get him one. Yippee-ki-yay. Head on over to forlibertyshop.com. Get yourself a nice Now I Have a Machine Gun sweater. Wear it all throughout the holiday season, for Halloween, for Christmas. It's any day that it's a little chilly outside. I really can't stay, baby, it's cold outside. But frickity's here, baby, it's cold outside. He says the establishment R's are a big problem. Yes. John Knox reminds us about a lesbian DEI hire sank a $100 million Royal New Zealand Navy vessel. She ran it aground, managed to set it on fire, and sank it. It is the first New Zealand loss since World War II. Well, at least she's got her slippery boat party in there. Elon Musk, Donald Trump together in the White House would be an effective combination in my mind. Would we see an 80% reduction in government? That remains to be seen. Many people are still skeptical of Donald Trump and what he might do in a second term, considering that the first administration did not exactly accomplish draining the swamp. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta hope. We gotta hope that we gotta have faith. Well, I guess it would be nice if Trump touches your body. I know not everybody has got a body like me.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Is that okay? Do we do that here? I'll take a quick break. I'm going to go get Mighty Megatron that link and go A-P for Liberty real quick. And I'll be right back. Don't go away. Keep unlocking that bonus content. Once we hit $60, it's unlocked. Achievement unlocked. On the Wake Up America show on the 4 Liberty Network.
Are you tired of the strange radioactive effects of leftist culture? Do you ever wonder what happened to good old-fashioned American values? Well, fear no more, because there's a new force fighting back against the cultural rot of today. Introducing Culturama, a right-of-center talk show that's taking back the future today. Hosted by none other than blonde bombshell herself, Daniela Pensack. She's not just talking, she's taking culture back. With sharp takes, brilliant guests, and a few surprises along the way. Tune in to the live video podcast twice a week, because the future doesn't have to be weird. It can be Culturama.
If there wasn't going to be somebody who was a fiery champion of liberty, somebody who would get out there and who would be aggressive, and if they wouldn't do it with more fire or passion than I had, then I would go and I would fight this battle for us. I've fought for the principles that we all share. Parties tend to be secondary to me. We're here because we believe in the principles of liberty. I am not a perfect messenger, but I think I'm a damn good one. This is a replica of our first president's flintlock pistol. You have my full support, my respect, and my gun.
I think that at the heart of my philosophy is much more libertarianism than well, that's the fashionable word these days, I guess. A conservative is no longer just that. He's a libertarian and always has been.
Yet any time you and I question the schemes of the do-gooders, we're denounced as being against their humanitarian goals. They say we're always against things, we're never for anything.
What is fascism? Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation.
Well, the trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves.
The conservative, so-called, is the one that says less government, get off my back, get out of my pocket, and let me have more control of my own destiny.
Do you hate the deep state? Do you reject the Antichrist in all his ways? Do you believe that aliens controlled LBJ to assassinate John F. Kennedy? Did you know that the shot can put chemicals in you that will make you more sensitive to 5G? Do you love America? Do you want more freedom? Do you like smoking hot red-headed libertarians? Then the AP for Liberty shop is for you! Check out all the awesome new merch and have a happy new year! Fight the deep state, reject the Antichrist. Visit AP for Liberty shop and get your patriotic merchandise now, or the deep state wins.
Shouldn't be the government telling her what to do, not the government. If she chooses, she will talk with her priest, her pastor, her rabbi, her imam, but not the government telling her what to do. Shouldn't be the government telling her what to do, not the government.
Is that a new accent, Kamala? Good morning. Rise and freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show on the For Liberty Network. Nelson headed over to his wallet. He opened it up and he doth bless me with something.
Can you bless me with something?
Oh, God.
Money-wise.
Money-wise. And he didn't even ask me to... Thank you, Nelson, for the $10. $10 makes me holler. Over at rumble.com, Nelson dropping $10 in the tip jar gets us $10 towards the $60 goal today. We keep it flirty. We keep it fun. We keep it freedom. On the Wake Up America show, we are part of the For Liberty Network. And we are For Liberty, our 3 shows, 2 of which are launching this week. Culturama, starring Daniela Pensack, where she's taking back tomorrow today. A retro radioactive look at the 1950s, where culture was, shall we say, great. Can we make it perhaps great again? I think so. Nobody writes these but me. And they're going to form a team of writers. Kamala doing that libertarian accent now, says L-Dubs. Yes. No. Yeah. No offense,
No
man.
offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
We've got a great show for you today. I have no guests. John Miltimore living his life as a dad up in the woods of Minnesota. Maybe he went hunting with his governor, Tim Walz. If so, he needs to show him how to use a shotgun because Minnesota Governor Tim Walz decided to go a little, quote, pheasant hunting over the weekend, and photographs emerged of him trying to load his shotgun and struggling a bit. Let's take a look at the next vice president of the United States here loading his gun.
And it never fits quite right. Never fits quite right. Just not quite right. How do you give it back?
Governor, what kind of gun is it?
This is a Beretta A400. I bought it when I was shooting a lot of trap because it has a kind of their patented thing, a kickoff. So when you get old, it doesn't hurt your shoulder as much.
Oh, great. Just what we need. Somebody who can't use a rifle that they claim they bought. Or, excuse me, a shot. LW78 says, for your labor on the Libertarian Network spreadsheet. Thank you, LDubs. Mr. Luttrell. I have a dream that all God's libertarians, black, white, gay, Jewish, can come together to create the For Liberty Network. No! Zionists! The Wake Up America show is brought to you by people like Luttrell and Nelson who help make it happen. Nelson even volunteers his time to come hang out with us in the morning to set up the studio. Well, Nelson, we are a little bit lighter this week on cameras to set up, which is all my bad. Yesterday in beautiful Herman, Missouri, my beautiful little baby girl, Hazel, had her kind of coming out party with all of our friends, not coming out in the bad way, but first time being around crowds. Doesn't she look beautiful? Isn't she cute? And I have a nice hat. I'm her father. No question. Who's your daddy? I forgot to take home my camera. I left one of my studio cameras after 2 delicious steinfuls of Oktoberfest beer. Thankfully, I did bring home the child. Oops.
How dare you?
I feel stupid. I called the bar and they didn't see it. Of course they didn't. It's a nice Sony camera, an A6000, and now I got to go get another one. A jaunty hat, no less, says Hikaru. Yes, thank you for noticing. It is quite jaunty. And then my sweet baby with her cute little cheeks and that punum. Very delicious, very pretty. Thank you very much for buying the Now I Have a Machine Gun sweatshirt. There you go. That puts us up over the $60 total in order for us to run the Liberty Network and make up for, well, unfortunately, Austin's mistakes. Maybe the camera will turn up. If so, I'll be able to go back out there and get it. Otherwise, then this week might be going into getting another camera. I was stupid to leave my camera there and a little drunk, but also I was thankful that I did not bring my really nice new camera because I sent a whole bunch of my other cameras out to the people doing the new shows this week. And I just said to myself, you know what, Austin, just in case if something bad happens, just bring the older camera, the Sony A6000, leave the really nice new one that you got here in the studio, just in case something happens. And look, as Sun Tzu say, know yourself and your enemy, and you will never lose in 1,000 battles. The Wake Up America show streams live Mondays through Fridays, 7 to 9 Central Time. Culturama is on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time. You can watch Culturama Tuesdays and Thursdays after the show on Thursday night, Liberty Tonight. It's Liberty Tonight. Starring Brian Piotr and Jordan, king of all libertarians. Cannot miss it. It's going to be fantastic. And so follow them at rumble.com/Culturama and rumble.com/Liberty Tonight. The easiest way to find us, however, is just to go to forlibernetwork.com. We've got the For Liberty Network. We've got 3 shows. We got a merchandise store. I don't know how much more I could be doing to try and succeed and, put a little milk in that baby's bottle and a little beer in my stein, but I'm not launching rockets and catching them with Mechazilla chopsticks, but I do my best. Dino Houston says, I love the hat and your baby is beautiful. Thank you. L-Dub says, if we say Fuentes' name 3 times very fast, he'll apparate in Austin's studio.
Oh, God! Okay. No, God, please, no!
No, I don't think so. Elon Musk making world-breaking records with his heavy rocket launch, which returned safely over the last...
We're now down to engines. We can see those chopsticks now.
Papa Sticker! Yes.
Mechazilla had caught the booster.
It's Gojira. You look sick.
Absolutely insane. On the first ever attempt, we have successfully caught the Super Heavy booster back at...
Oh, yes, Elon. Meanwhile, over in mainstream media land, J.D. Vance walked into one of the most hostile interviews I've seen on Meet the Press on ABC, or excuse me, this week on ABC. Watch this.
Do you hear yourself? The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
Only, Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border? Americans are so fed up with what's going on, and they have every right to be. And I really find this exchange, Martha, sort of interesting because you seem to be more focused with nitpicking everything that Donald Trump has said rather than acknowledging that apartment complexes in the United States of America are being taken over by violent gangs. I worry so much more about that problem than anything else here. We've got to get American communities in a safe space again. And unfortunately, when you let people in by the millions, most of whom are unvetted, most of whom you don't know who they really are, you're going to have problems like this. Kamala Harris, 94 executive orders that undid Donald Trump's successful border policies. We knew this stuff would happen. They bragged about opening the border, and now we have the consequences, and we're living with it. We can do so much better, but frankly, we're not going to do better, Martha, unless Donald Trump calls this stuff out. I'm glad that he did.
Yeah. Can this guy run for president? You know what I'm saying? Classic AP. Classic. He cooks them every time.
I understand what you're saying, that some people left behind, but he's making these statements that the mayor is flat out disputing.
Well, Martha, you just said the mayor said they were exaggerated.
Grossly exaggerated.
That means there's got to be some element of truth here. And of course, President Trump was actually in Aurora, Colorado, talking to people on the ground. And what we're hearing, of course, Martha, is that people are terrified by what has happened with some of these Venezuelan gangs.
Senator Vance, I'm going to stop you because I know exactly what happened.
Martha.
I'm going to stop you.
Do you?
The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
Listen to yourself. Listen to this lady.
Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not...
Listen, you do not have to be a hardcore Trumpy populist when it comes to immigration. You can be a guy like me who is a libertarian who wants legal immigration to this country. I think that immigrants help make America a better place, including, Elon Musk. Yo. Hello. Albert Einstein, anyone? Making America great again? We could use a good Einstein these days. It's not the immigrants that are the problem. It is the policy. It is the lawlessness. It is the allowing of the vagrancy and of the crime, not prosecuting actual crimes and not deporting actual criminals. People who come here to the United States to do us harm have no business, no right coming to the United States. And I say that as a freedom-loving libertarian. And people say open borders, open this, open borders that. I really don't trust people when they use the term open borders because there are so many ways to define what that means. Total anarchy, no nation state, no borders whatsoever. Is that how you want to live? There are places in Honduras where you can do that. As a matter of fact, I've seen Mennonites living out in the jungles of Peru and then being like, oh, there's too many people here and they need to go deeper into the jungle. jungle. So if you want to live in an anarcho commune, things like that do exist. But I know that the people who think we should be for open borders on the left don't want to go live in the jungles of Peru. They want to live in downtown New York City with all the bells and whistles and all the nice little Christmas trimmings that you get from living in a capitalist society like the United States. Ho, ho, ho. Now I have a machine gun. No. You never take my guns. Click the like button. Today's the first time you're watching the Wake Up America show. I certainly hope that you click that follow button as well. Here on the Wake Up America show, you can see the best clips, have the most amount of fun, and ensure that your life, your liberty is protected, and you start your day the American way. That's right.
From now on, it's going to be America first, okay? America first.
America first, not Venezuelan gangs first.
On the Venezuelan gangs taking over the apartment building in Colorado.
We have new information on what we've learned is happening inside an apartment complex. This video shows armed men walking through a building, knocking on doors, then entering an apartment. The apartment complex is at 12th and Dallas and Aurora.
They want to disarm us. They want to take our guns. We can't have them. They think that's going to stop these guys.
So have taken over several apartment complexes.
Venezuelan gangs are taking over the real estate. They're becoming real estate developers. And they have...
Do they get little cards?
Their little card is a bullet.
Yes!
Kamala Harris will work to deliver on that and secure the border.
Who's to blame? Carousel, if you will, continues. The city says the property management team is simply not doing enough to help these residents. And an interview with that property management team last week, they say that that building is actually being controlled by a certain gang, and they feel helpless. There's nothing they can do about it.
They've, in fact, have kind of pushed out the property management through intimidation and then collected the rents. And arrests have been made, but these operations are still on.
This is what Kamala Harris has in store for us. This is what Kamala and Tim Walz want to have for the rest of the United States. They would disarm us in our own homes and prevent us from being able to defend ourselves while violent gangs take over, and they will do nothing about it. That is why we have to make America great again.
Because what we see is so hard to see that we lose faith or a vision of those things we cannot see but must know. Because what we see...
Oh, excuse me? What is this? What did she say? Is this being unburdened by what has been?
Because what we see is so hard to see that we lose faith or a vision of those things we cannot see but must know. Because what we...
Wait. Hold on just 1 second here. I'm not sure that maybe it's just because it's early. I haven't had some coffee. Hold on. Let me take a drink of my coffee here. I just want to make sure that I understand, because I've got good reading comprehension, good listening comprehension, but every once in a while, guys, something just kind of slides right by me. You know what I mean? 43 years old, right? So middle age. It's early. Yesterday, I drank a little over at Oktoberfest. Maybe I'm not feeling 100% today, so it could be me. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Should we hear this one more time? Let me just take a sip of coffee and take a listen.
Because what we see is so hard to see that we lose faith or a vision of those things we cannot see but must know.
Okay, I just don't understand. Because what we see, what we can't see. Hikaru Kitsune said, when you're with Chef Kamala, word salad is always on the menu. Exactly. And I need me some meat like Elon Musk.
This is a custom-built tower with arms that are designed to catch the largest and heaviest flying object ever made.
Yeah, so you want to send Kamala,
it out of the air.
You want to put her in the White House instead of somebody like this, who's going to hire someone like this.
I mean, that's the theory anyway. So
Elon just said, delete the legs, delete. We're like, well, what is like, you just use the arms, and then you said it again. And we go, wow, he's serious. Okay, we better get on this. And now it seems normal. Or
it'll weigh about 250 tons. We'll make that lighter over time. So you got call it a couple hundred tons, plummeting at more than half the speed of sound. So this thing is still coming in really fast.
Yeah.
pretty much down in a downward direction. So then they light the engines, so it's going to slow itself down very fast and correct any error. So like whatever the XY error is when the engines land, it's going to take out that XY error and then drop the velocity to basically zero. Come in between the arms. The arms will be wide, and as it's coming in, the arms will close.
I seriously thought that thing was going to explode.
Go flush against the side of the vehicle, and the vehicle will be descending through the arms. And those tiny little, you can barely see them, the little knobs, those kind of lifting lugs will touch the top of the arms, and then it will hopefully not shear off and crumple. Success is one of the possible outcomes.
Landing burn has been ignited. We're now down to 3 Raptor engines.
I thought it was going to blow up there.
We can see those chopsticks.
Look, it turns, it's turning, it's coming in hot and fast, and then it turns.
Mechazilla has caught the booster.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I proudly stand up next to her and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
From now on, it's going to be America first, okay? America first.
Yeah. We love Elon, we love X, we love SpaceX, and we love black people.
You people are being so rude to not listen to this speech. It was my fault that we missed it in the program. Look who's leaving, all the black people.
High school graduation ended early after the principal said, look who's leaving all the black people. As soon as she said that, all the black people left. What do you think of that, Luttrell? I don't know. Some funny behavior there. Where did that clip come from? I have no idea. It's just hilarious. I've got a million billion clips. Some will make you laugh. Some will make you smile, like this one.
All right, so party ID nationally. You go to October, November of 2016, Democrats had a 3-point advantage. You go 4 years ago, Democrats had a 6-point advantage. Look at where we are today, Manu. Republicans with a 1-point advantage. A very different picture, very much mirroring what we see in the party registration numbers in those key battleground states, and Pennsylvania in particular.
It actually just shows you, too, why Harris is doing what she's trying to do. She's trying to moderate a little bit on these issues, trying to reach those very voters, because the party registration is changing, and the demographics of the voters are changing. And those are the people she needs to attract.
Absolutely. And you know, the GOP leads by a point in party identification right now. The average when the Republican Party loses is the Democrats ahead by 8. When the Republican Party wins, the average party ID advantage for Democrats is 3. Republicans right now, Manu, are doing even better than the average when they win. If there's one little nugget that I think Republicans are really hopeful for, it's this party ID and this party registration data. It really points in a good direction.
Gojira, Trump. Bring the power. Even Saturday Night Live is turning on Kamala Harris. So she can have a Glock, but she works to make sure that you don't have a Glock. Let me just make sure that I got this right. So Kamala, she's got a gun.
Kamala Harris is straight up gangster now.
just dropped a bomb on Oprah like, oh, someone breaks into my house, they're getting shot. Whoa, Kamala, hardcore. But this is the same woman who's been trying to take your guns for years. Yeah, miss, I got my Glock right here, was the same DA pushing bans so strict you'd be lucky to defend yourself with a slingshot in San Francisco. She pushed hard for the DC gun ban, basically trying to make sure you're barehanded when somebody kicks your door down. Meanwhile, she's sitting pretty with her own piece like, guns for me, but good luck, peasants. It's like she's living in some VIP area in America and the rules don't apply to her. She's out here telling you, call 911 and pray, while she's in the back like, nah, I'm gonna handle this myself. Someone should ask her on the trail, hey, Cam, that Glock feeling good for you in your hands, real comfy? Well, I guess the rest of us just don't deserve to feel safe unless we're rolling with your crew, huh? Come on. And you know AP be working his ass off making shorts. Letting people know about the good news that For Liberty Network launches this week on the Wake Up America show. We have 2 new podcasts, live shows launching this week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time, Culturama, Daniela Pensak's retro radioactive look at American culture that's taking back tomorrow today. And after the show, Thursday night, from 9 to 11 p.m. Central Time, we're watching Liberty Tonight. On the For Liberty Network, 2 men have a mission to Mars to come back and return safely using only the gas that they're able to generate on their own. Liberty Tonight, Brian Piotr. A late night Liberty look at the news, and his co-host, the king of all libertarians. Yes, Michael Scott.
No, God, please, no, no.
The king of all libertarians, King Libertarian. Yes, that's right. We're going to have a lot of fun this week, and I'm not going to get any sleep, and I'm still going to do all my work and appear on other people's podcasts and try not to die. I'm hungover. It's Monday morning. Yesterday was Oktoberfest. I lost a nice camera that I used in this studio. It was Stephanie's camera for Fridays. I don't know what I'm going to do, and I'm kind of nervous about it. LW78, loved the Joker art, enjoyed the AI Kamala Harris. Nelson65 said, you're right, AP, the AI does make her look hot.
I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Let's check out Mamalo's coconuts.
You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
Donald Trump came to the Detroit Economic Club and stood there in front of the Ford Motor executives and said, if you close these factories as you're planning to do in Detroit and build them in Mexico, I'm going to put a 35% tariff on those cars when you send them back, and nobody's going to buy them. It was an amazing thing to see. No politician, Republican or Democrat, had ever said anything like that to these executives. And it was music to the ears of people in Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. He's saying the things to people who are hurting. And it's why every beaten down, nameless, forgotten working stiff who used to be part of what was called the middle class loves Trump. He is the human Molotov cocktail that they've been waiting for. The human hand grenade that they can legally throw into the system that stole their lives from them. Although they've lost their jobs, although they've been foreclosed on by the bank, next came the divorce, and now the wife and kids are gone, the car's been repoed, they haven't had a real vacation in years, they're stuck with the shitty Obamacare bronze plan where you can't even get a fucking Percocet. They've essentially lost everything they had, except one thing. The one thing that doesn't cost them a cent and is guaranteed to them by the American Constitution, the right to vote. They might be penniless, they might be homeless, they might be fucked over and fucked up. It doesn't matter, because it's equalized on that day.
Never thought I'd be playing Michael Moore in a positive way on my podcast, but there it is. That's what's at stake. I may not agree with the tariffs, but I understand the plight of the people in Michigan. My wife is from the Detroit area, and people are just sick and tired of having politicians sell them out. Even people like my old debate partner, Anna Kasparian.
In 2022, it was around March. I was walking my dog. It was not quite dark yet, but the sun was setting. As I'm walking my dog, I see these two guys that were just kind of like moving around weirdly. You know, they seemed kind of manic and their clothes were tattered. So I knew that they were probably homeless. And I also knew that they're probably on something just based on like the twitchy way they were acting. But living in LA, I mean, there's homeless people everywhere, right? So I've never had problems. I didn't think anything of it. But as I was bending down to pick up my dog's mess, one of the guys like grabs me by my hips, and he had an erection.
Oh, God.
And just starts like humping me. And I didn't know what to do. Like I was terrified. I didn't have a weapon on me.
Yep.
Like I had no way of defending myself. I didn't
You're in
know
LA.
how far it was going to go because it's two guys. I'm by myself with my little dog. It was one of the most terrifying things ever because I'm pretty good at defending myself. In that moment, I just knew there was no option.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And luckily, he stopped, and they just laughed at me and walked away as they were laughing at me. And so there was the fear, and then the humiliation, and weirdly shame. Like I felt ashamed for some reason, and it was awful. And it was really taking a toll on my mental health because I have to walk my dog, right? So at least 2 or 3 times a day, I'm going outside kind of scared. And so I opened up about this on the show, not really thinking much of it. And before I know it, I'm starting to get these messages, and it's like really, really harsh stuff. And it's about how you are painting a picture of the homeless community. You know, how could you be like this? You know, these are your unhoused neighbors and they need help. A few people accused me of being racist when I had never disclosed the race of the individuals who did this to me. And in fact, they were white. And so like when they started accusing me of being racist, I'm like, wait a minute. Why are you assuming that the people who did
Well,
this?
of course.
Yeah, like I think you might have a problem here.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that woke me up. That woke me up because I'm like, oh my God.
They eat their
Unbelievable. I have a story right now. It's a similar story. It's a sensitive story. It's not one that I typically talk about in public. It's one that I've shared only with a very few people. And now it will be you. And I can identify with Anna Kasparian, not from the sense of I used to be a leftist and, you know, I obviously was never retarded. So I've always been on the right to some extent. I lived in New York City for 11 years. This is a difficult story. And I was riding a subway train. You always have these ideas about how you're going to defend yourself. And at that point, I was studying martial arts, but it was still the early days. It was, you know, about almost 20 years ago, maybe 20 years ago or so. I'm living in New York, and I'm riding the train. And on the commute, on the way to work in the morning, I remember now. It was about 10 years ago. It was when I lived in New York from 2010 to 2012. In the mornings, the trains are so packed that you're squished in with people. Like everybody's touching every part of your body almost, right? And if you're smart, then you tend to keep your bag as close to your body as you can to cover yourself because, you know, people can be weird or what have you. And certainly I experienced that one morning on the way. And I thought that it was just somebody's bag that was touching me. At first, I couldn't tell that it was someone's hand putting their hand on me. And I was like, because I remember feeling something and I was just kind of like, oh, it's probably just like somebody's handbag or like their purse or like, I don't know, maybe just accidentally brushed against me. And then it happened again. And I was kind of like, that felt like something deliberate. And when I looked down, I saw a hand, little brown hand, pull back There's a race for you. A brown hand pulled itself back, and a short Hispanic-looking man, I made eye contact with him. And at first, he was looking like sort of happy with just an awkward, weird look on his face. And I remember like being shocked and just trying to kind of understand what was happening in the moment. And mind you, it's not this open, right? I am packed like this, like sardines in. And I see this guy, and he's over closer to the door, and the door's open. And when he saw that my facial expressions went from disbelief and astonishment to anger and hostility in my eyes, he then fled out the subway door. And I could have chased him down and committed an act of violence, maybe gotten myself stabbed, or just deal with it and go to work, continue on my way to work. And I didn't tell anybody what had happened that morning, but I couldn't stop thinking about all day what had happened to me. And for some strange reason, I felt ashamed, like Anna did. I felt embarrassed, or like I had done something wrong, or that there was something wrong with me, right? I was a victim, but I felt like I felt ashamed, right? That had happened to me, that I had been victimized by someone in a subway car, a packed subway car in New York City. And then if I had caught the man, do you think that the justice system would have treated me any different than they treated, was it Daniel Penny in the situation in New York City where he actually choked an aggressive homeless man? No, I think that if I had gone and chased him down the street and pounded the dickens out of him, then I would have been the one sitting in a jail cell later that day in New York City, not whoever this Hispanic-looking man was who had assaulted me sexually in the same way that Anna Kasparian had. And when you live in New York City and you live in D.C., it's not just men. It's not just men that do these kinds of vile, evil, vicious acts and can do so brazenly, openly, without any repercussions at all whatsoever, unless you lay your hand on the king, right? If you tried to come near Kamala or any of the elites or things like that, there would be repercussions. But for the rest of us, alone out on the streets, you can just off and die. They don't care about what happens to people like me, to people like Anna Kasparian. And, many of you I know who watch the Wake Up America show watch us from Missouri. So you may be used to living in rural environments. You may have never been on a packed subway car in the mornings. It's not like I can carry a gun in New York City, because if I had, then I would have gotten 7 years in jail just for the simple ownership of a firearm in New York City. Or if I had gotten caught with one. So the Wake Up America show is a tool for me to talk about these things and to hopefully make America a better place again by sharing my stories with you and the news. Thanks to all our friends who tune in and listen. Megatron says, I would have decked his ass. Yeah, I've been in those types of fights before. Yeah, no, seriously, would love to have decked his ass. The funny thing is, though, is that in the moment, you think you know what you would do, but in the moment, you freeze because you honestly, sometimes you don't know that something's happening to you, right? There's a normalcy bias to an extent, right? And initially, the first time that I felt someone putting their hands on me, I didn't even think that there was somebody putting their hands on me. And then by the time it dawned on me, he was already gone out the subway door and I'm still packed in like sardines. I would have had to fight 5 people to get through, this shorter guy was able to get his hands through the crowd of people and put his hands on me. And then by the time I realized it, it's either like, go now, push all these people out of the way and chase him down for what? What, a fist fight on the streets of NYC that sees me in prison at the end of the day instead of him? Who do you think that they would believe? The locals, right? I'm living in Queens, in Astoria, New York City. Who do you think that they're going to believe? You're going to think they're going to believe the guy who speaks the same language as they do, not the average white boy who moved from Peculiar, Missouri to New York City. They don't give a crap. They don't care. Sometimes you are so shocked you don't believe what you are seeing or experiencing. Yep, absolutely. Sometimes the astonishment takes a bit to process. Yeah, just think about it. Somebody could walk up and stab you with a knife and then walk away before you have time to process it, right? We're all in our own worlds. It's hard to have the type of situational awareness all the time that we talk about and we practice. But there have been scenarios when I was able to know the danger, see the danger that's coming at me, and to be able to mitigate it using self-defense techniques. And that's why we have our
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
That's right. That's right. Bow to your sensei. I am a Japanese karate martial artist teacher here in Jefferson City, Missouri. And let me tell you, if Kamala Harris thinks that she's going to win an election with these ninjas, well, take a look and a listen, and you tell me if you think that Kamala looks like she's battle-hardened and ready to fight.
I'm a man.
I'm a man, man.
And I'm man enough.
I'm man enough to enjoy a barrel-proof bourbon.
Neat.
Man enough to cook my steak rare.
Man enough to deadlift 500, then braid the out of my daughter's hair.
You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast.
I ain't afraid of bears.
That's what bear hugs are for.
I'll tell you another thing I sure as shit am not afraid of. Women.
I'm not afraid of women.
I'm not afraid of women.
They want to control their bodies? I say go for it.
They want to use IVF to start a family? I'm not afraid of families.
They want to be childless cat ladies?
Have all the cats you want.
Woman wants to be president?
Well, I hope she has the guts to look me right in the eye and accept my full-throated endorsement.
Because I'm man enough to support women.
Man enough to know what kind of donut.
Did he have to get the gay guy, the obviously gay guy, to say full-throated endorsement? I mean, he started off with the big fat gay guy. These people were all in South Pacific the Musical singing There Is Nothing Like a Dame in quite the same way while still being openly and proudly homosexuals.
Wants to be president?
Well, I hope she has the guts to look me right in the eye and accept my full-throated endorsement.
To accept my full-throated endorsement, she would say.
Do not come. Do not come.
And yet with Trump.
I'm gonna come.
Oh, baby. Oh, my. So speaking of gay,
I'm man enough to support women.
Man enough to know what kind of donuts I like.
Man enough to admit I'm lost, even when I refuse to ask for directions.
Man enough to not ban young women from reading Little Women.
Or one of those pants books that the sisters like.
I'm man enough to raw dog a flight. It sucked. Not worth it.
I'm man enough to be emotional in front of my wife.
In front of my kids.
In front of my horse. I'm man enough to tell you that I cry at Love Actually, Good Will Hunting,
West Side Story.
That and Predator.
And I'm sick of so-called.
All right, I can't say I cried at West Side Story there, actually. I was not gonna lie. It's a good enough production. Shut up.
How dare you? Men domineering, belittling, and controlling women just so they can feel more powerful. That's not how my mama raised me.
I love women.
I love women who support their families.
Women who decide not to have families.
Women who take charge.
And I'm man enough to help them win.
Okay, wait a minute. That's kind of funny, actually. Hold on. You know what this reminds me of? I love women. I will not carry a purse. I love women's. Hold on. Here it is. I am not gay no more. Hold on. Here it is.
Do you believe the Lord tonight has set you free? Yes, sir.
This was the audition for the Kamala Harris, the Men for Kamala Harris ad.
Turn around and tell those people. Tell them, I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more. I said I like women. Women. I said women. I'm not gay. I would not date a man. I would not carry a purse. I would not put on makeup. I will love a woman.
I will.
Now listen.
I will. Now just listen.
Hold on.
I will not carry a purse. I will not put on makeup. I will love a Kamala Harris. Hallelujah. It's the Wake Up America show. We're not gay. We do not have bisexual lighting. I will not wear Clinique base powder on my show. I will vote for Donald Trump.
From now on, it's going to be America first, okay? America first.
Ask yourself, how much fun do you have on the Wake Up America show? Is it worth a like? Can you click like if you haven't yet? And of course, if today's the first time you've ever watched the Wake Up America show, we'd love to have you be a regular guest. The show's schedule is Monday through Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. The Wake Up America show is coming in hot with 2 brand new shows on the new For Liberty Network at forlibertynetwork.com. If you go to forlibertynetwork.com, that's our locals page. You can help support the 2 new shows, Culturama, launching Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting tomorrow night, 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time. And then on Thursday, Liberty Tonight, starring Brian Piotr and the king of all libertarians. Thursday night, 9 to 11 p.m. Central Time, a weekly Tonight Show style Liberty Talk show at forlibertynetwork.com. That's right. I will love a women's. Love a women's. How dare you?
How dare you?
Starship launches and returns successfully thanks to the genius of the man who will lead the Department of Government Efficiency in the next Trump administration.
We're now down to 3 Raptor engines. We can see those chopsticks now in here.
Mechazilla has caught the booster.
One more time.
We're now down to 3 Raptor engines.
Watch this baby turn in midair. It's coming in so fast, faster than the speed of sound. Slows down.
We're now down to 3 Raptor engines.
And then, as if God himself plucked it from the air and placed it gently. The chopsticks of Mecha. Congratulations. USA! USA! Congratulations to Elon Musk and SpaceX on the successful flight and re-entry and redelivery of your heavy rocket booster. The actors who played in the Men for Kamala Harris ad were spotted on their social media accounts. Here they are, the men that they could get to shill for Kamala Harris.
Entirely out of dried cucumber. And I learned how to do it from this book, How to Make a Hat Entirely Out of Dried Cucumber. Except this book doesn't actually teach you how to make a hat entirely out of dried cucumber, but this book gives you the resourcefulness and the inner knowledge and the general overall peace with oneself to know how to make a hat entirely out of dried cucumber. Feels so good. I never have to suffer.
That is the manliest man they could find. Here's another one. Here's the guy who gave Kamala his full-throated endorsement.
Gavin Newsom here with an important update. I want you to know that I'm lifting the stay-at-home orders, so California is officially open for business. So whether you're picking up some In-N-Out on the way to Disneyland, or going on a tour of the Napa wine country, or just driving on that bridge from the opening credits of Big Little Lies, just enjoy everything this beautiful state has to offer.
Yes, that is
Like, I started acting at 12, and that's when I fell in love with it. But Nigerian traditional parents were like, no, you're not going to be, an actor. You're going to be a doctor. Like, I started acting at 12, and that's when
And I say that as one, yeah. Ugh. What do you want to be when you grow up? Tim Walz, J.D. Vance, or Trump?
That there is a housing crisis is that not enough houses have been built.
And that we have 25 million people who shouldn't be here.
Well, I mean, this is the thing.
I think it's both.
I know you do. I don't think that many people who look into this agree with you, but about a third of the construction workforce in this country is Hispanic. Of those, a large portion are undocumented. So how do you propose to build all the housing necessary that we need in this country by removing all the people who are working in construction?
Well, I think it's a fair question because we know that back in the 1960s when we had very low levels of illegal immigration, Americans didn't buy houses, didn't build houses. But of course they did. And I'm being sarcastic, of course, in service of a point, Lulu, the assumption that because a large number of home builders now are using undocumented labor, that's the only way to build homes. I think, again,
the country is much bigger. The need is much bigger. I mean, I'm not arguing in favor of illegal immigration. I'm asking how you would deal with the knock-on effect of your proposal to remove millions of people who work in a critical part of the economy.
Well, I think that what you would do is you would take, let's say, for example, the 7 million prime age men who have dropped out of the labor force, and you have a smaller number of women, but still millions of women prime age who have dropped out of the labor force. You absolutely could re-engage folks into the American labor market. This is, I think,
to work in construction?
Of course you could.
I mean, the unemployment rate is 4.1%. Most people who
unemployment rate, Lulu, this is important.
But most people who don't work can't work in the regular economy. They're in the military, they're parents, they're sick, they're old. They might not want to work in construction.
The unemployment rate does not count labor force participation dropouts. And again, this is one of the really deranged things that I think illegal immigration does to our society is it gets us in a mindset of saying we can only build houses with illegal immigrants when we have 7 million, just men, not even women, just men who have completely dropped out of the labor force. People say, well, Americans won't do those jobs. Americans won't do those jobs for below the table wages. They won't do those jobs for non-living wages. But people will do those jobs. They will just do those jobs at certain wages. And think about this from the perspective of an American company, okay? I want them to go searching in their own country for their own citizens. Sometimes people who may be struggling with addiction or trauma, get them re-engaged in American society. We cannot have an entire American business community that is giving up on American workers and then importing millions of illegal laborers. That is what we have thanks to Kamala Harris's border policies. I think it's one of the biggest drivers of inequality. It's one of the biggest reasons why we have millions of people who have dropped out of the labor force. Why try to re-engage an American citizen in a good job if you can just import somebody from Central America who's going to work under the table for poverty wages? It is a disgrace, and it has led to the evisceration of the American middle class.
And part of that is true and part of that is not, but I still like the way that J.D. Vance handles these kinds of hostile interviews. Donald Trump, on his final leg of the campaign tour, went to Reno, Nevada to say this.
Perhaps most revealing of all, she lied about working at McDonald's. How simple is that? No, she said everything that she ever. I worked hard at McDonald's for a long time. I worked over the French fry bin. You know what I'm doing next week? I'm going to a McDonald's to work because if I work there for 10 minutes, I will have worked there longer than her.
Good stuff, Poso. We need that. We need that back in the White House. I think we need that kind of energy, especially with JD Vance. I'm so proud of Elon Musk, not just because of the launch and successful return of his rocket, but because it seems as if Elon knows who the good guys are.
I'm not an anarchist. I believe in a government, but a limited government. And
he's not an anarchist, says Milton Friedman. This is something Elon Musk posted on X.
I'm not an anarchist. I believe in a government.
Same.
But a limited government.
Same.
And the government should be limited, in my opinion, to very simple functions.
Yes.
Number one, to defending the country against foreign enemies.
Yes.
I have tried for a long time to see how to make national defense a private enterprise, and I have never succeeded. It's easy to see how to privatize schooling, but I don't know how to privatize national defense.
Yes.
The second function of government, and one which it performs very, very badly, is to protect the individual citizen against abuse and coercion by other citizens, to keep you from being hit over the head, mugged on the street, your house broken into, and so on. And I believe that the government performs that function very ineffectively because it's doing so many things it has no business doing.
Thank you, Milton.
The third function of government, a very important function, is to define the rules of the game we play. What's private property? If an airplane flies 10,000 feet over your house, is he violating your private property? If he flies 10 feet over your house, is he violating your private property? There's nothing natural about where the line should be drawn. So we have to have some mechanism for making the rules about that, and that is an appropriate government function. And fourth, it's appropriate for government to provide a mechanism for adjudicating disputes about the meaning of those rules, a judicial system. Those are the four essential functions of government, in my opinion, and those are the only functions that are essential. There may be some other areas in which, if you started with nothing more than that, government might conceivably do more good than harm. But from where you are now, if you could only move back in that direction, it would be marvelous.
That's Elon Musk reposting the great libertarian mind of Milton Friedman. Meanwhile, these people are trying to take over and prevent the next Milton Friedman from getting into the White House and starting the Department of Government Efficiency.
To be doing it. They are first responders. They're meant to be dealing with emergency assistance. They've had to become disinformation experts. And there was meant to be a bureau within DHS focusing on this that I was meant to lead.
I was about to say, this is why Nina should have a job, okay? Nina should be employed today in the federal government.
I'd be happy to work for her.
Yeah, employed in the federal government. The left wants to control what you hear, think, and say. They want government disinformation experts to censor Americans. They want a ministry of truth, writes my great state's senator, Eric Schmidt. Way to go, Eric. This is that woman who did all of the weird videos that was supposed to have that job. They were supposed to create a new department. And look at, there's, what's his name? Michael something, the guy, the former head of the RNC, who's like become this like conservative traitor out there on MSNBC so he can have a job and feel powerful. And he's sitting there on MSNBC now selling out Republicans and libertarians, like pretending to be one. And this lady here, she was supposed to be the one who was supposed to set up a Department of Homeland Security misinformation and disinformation sector. Thank God that never happened. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. But Kamala Harris is going to win some votes this fall from people like this.
Yeah, reality sucks. Capitalism is bad.
You just listened to Milton Friedman explaining all about capitalism and government and the proper role of government, the proper role of the free market. And then you have this bitch.
Yeah, reality sucks. Capitalism is bad. I don't like it.
Yeah, really easy for someone to say that grew up in a really nice house in one of the best school districts in Texas.
I know, but it's
who has the rent paid for, that is able to go to Europe and on a whim with their sister, who's able to do girl math, who's able to be fun employed. Yeah, it's easy to say that the system's bad when you're doing that because you've never had to work for it. You never got to actually see what happens when you put in the work and get benefits and actually have a little bit of responsibility and actually build something or do anything. You've grew up in privilege beyond privilege beyond privilege beyond privilege. It's only the people who speak like you that grew up in a world where you've never had to do a single thing in your life. So I don't want to hear about that. What a joke.
I'm sorry. I just wish everybody had but yeah, like you were saying, that
I wish a lot of things. Wishing doesn't get people places. You try to create the best systems possible. This is matter? Oh my.
If it's the best system possible, then why are there people
I'm not
who
saying
are
this is
top
the.
percentages who are like
Shut the f up. I'm not saying this is the best system possible. I'm saying we don't do the I wish this is how it all is.
Yeah.
You try to create the best systems possible to give people the opportunities to live the best lives. I'm not saying everything's perfect. I'm not saying this is the best system possible. I don't know. Everything's a f***ing hypothesis. It's
Capitalism is just the best system we've come up with yet. Nicely done.
Tell that bitch.
You love to see it. This one really made me laugh. It's a little bit of parody talking about the docking of the rocket. You can see here the security account breaking. Known simpleton Elon Musk bumbles in yet another historic milestone, like the fake lamestream media might say. Giant moron Elon retard Musk, also known as the Mr. Bean of big tech, has once again somehow fallen upwards by successfully bumbling into landing a rocket booster in a mechanical docking tower. Yes, the super heavy booster. That's right. The super heavy booster done by Space Retard Rocket Test Docking. Look what Elon Musk has done. This complete and total idiot. We don't want him in government. Someone who can do something like this. There's no way he could make the government more efficient.
Mechazilla has caught the booster.
Mechazilla.
This is absolutely insane. On the first ever attempt, we have successfully caught the super heavy booster back at the launch tower.
What an incredible view!
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
This is how the leftist press reports on him. Elon bumbles in another historic milestone. Giant moron Elon retard Musk. No. I'm looking at the headline now. I'll put it up here. California officials cite Elon Musk's politics in rejecting SpaceX launches. Here, let me pull this up on the screen so you can see the article that I'm reading. They want you to hate him. Look what they said here at Politico. California officials cite Elon Musk's politics in rejecting SpaceX launches. They cited his antics in rejecting his plan to launch more rockets off the central California coast, his tweets about the presidential election supporting Trump, and the falsehoods about Hurricane Helena are endangering his ability to launch rockets off California's central coast. That's how the mainstream media writes it. The California Coastal Commission rejected the Air Force's plan to give SpaceX to launch up to 50 rockets a year from Vandenberg Air Force Base in Santa Barbara County. Elon Musk is hopping about the country, spewing and tweeting political falsehoods and attacking FEMA while claiming his desire to help the hurricane victims free Starlink access to the internet, said Commissioner Gretchen Newsom in San Diego. Boo. Elon, we love you. We appreciate you. We wish that we could be number one on X, but unfortunately, the Bitcoin boys took over for us this morning on the Wake Up America show. But that's okay.
How dare you?
No, it's okay. Remember, guys.
Can you bless me with something?
Oh, gosh.
Money-wise. Please.
Can you suck it?
What?
Bonus content has been unlocked, Nelson. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you so much for buying the merch at forlibertyshop.com. When you bless me with something, I shall bless you with something. You scratch my back, I give you the 5-minute bonus content that you're going to get to see right after the end of the show here today. Congratulations. You blessed me with something, money-wise, but bow.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
As we leave today and as you exit on the way out the Griff Shop, bow to your sensei and hit forlibertyshop.com. The new launch of the For Liberty Network and the camera that I lost yesterday is an expensive venture. I'm investing my family's future and Hazel's college retirement fund into big money, no whammies. The success of 4libertynetwork.com, it's all on my shoulders, but to some extent it's on yours, and I can place it on you by saying, can you bless me with something?
Can you bless me with something?
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh.
They said.
Money-wise?
Oh, God. But Amy J.E.'s, she is a member of Grant's Army over at wakeupamericashow.com/support. Today's the day. If you've been waiting for a decision, a sign perhaps that you should become a monthly subscriber, you get 20% off awesome merch like this at 4libertyshop.com. Amy, if you don't have your discount code, then make sure you send me a DM, maybe over on Elon's platform at x.com/AP4Liberty. If you're a monthly contributor to the Wake Up America show in any way, shape, or form, you get a 20% discount at the shop. I saw Grizz Cheese went from $10 a month to $17.76 a month. Sir, you are on the Peterson family Christmas card list. So head over to wakeupamericashow.com/support. Enjoy the bonus content today, guys. Hope you guys like it. Thanks for unlocking. We'll see you here tomorrow for my show, and then tomorrow night, 12 hours later, the launch of Culturama on the 4 Liberty Network. See you guys tomorrow.
Lawsuit against Missouri cop who jailed a man for being an asshole. In May 2021, Mason Murphy was stopped by Officer Michael Schmidt while walking on a rural road in Sunrise Beach, Missouri. Schmidt asked Murphy to identify himself, which Murphy refused, believing he had done nothing wrong. This led to a heated exchange between the two. Officer Schmidt, unable to provide a valid reason for detaining Murphy, handcuffed him and took him to jail. At the station, Schmidt struggled to justify the arrest, admitting to another officer that Murphy was being held for being an asshole and would remain jailed until he played nice. Murphy was released without charges after 2 hours, but 5 months later, he filed a lawsuit against Schmidt, claiming his First Amendment rights were violated. The lawsuit highlights that Murphy was punished for exercising constitutionally protected speech. Initially, a federal judge dismissed Murphy's claim. However, the U.S. Supreme Court recently revived Murphy's lawsuit, citing a recent decision, Gonzalez v. Trevino, which facilitates the pursuit of compensation for retaliatory arrests. This decision is viewed as a significant step forward in defending citizens' rights against government retaliation. Murphy had technically violated a Missouri statute by walking on the wrong side of the road, a fact Schmidt failed to articulate during the arrest. The officer's ignorance of this law supports Murphy's assertion that the real reason for his detention was his defiance. Throughout the encounter, Schmidt insisted Murphy was obliged to identify himself and accused him of intoxication, which Murphy denied. Murphy maintained his sobriety and questioned the legality of Schmidt's demands, which Schmidt met with increasing frustration. Despite being confronted with Murphy's objections, Schmidt arrested him, leading to mutual insults exchanged between Murphy and Schmidt. The officer kept referencing Murphy's attitude as the reason for the arrest, reinforcing the notion that the detention was retaliatory. At the jail, Murphy continued to question the legality of his arrest, facing threats from Officer Pedigo, who later lost his job for his behavior. The officers at the jail could not identify a legitimate charge against Murphy, leading to a focus on his refusal to cooperate. Following the incident, local authorities expressed outrage over the officer's conduct. Camden County Sheriff Tony Helms publicly condemned the behavior, emphasizing the need for accountability within the police force for such actions. Murphy's legal team argued that arrests for walking on the wrong side of the road are rare, suggesting his arrest was retaliatory due to his protests against police conduct. They pointed out that similar conduct typically does not result in arrest. The Supreme Court's previous decision in Nieves v. Bartlett played a role in reviving Murphy's case, showcasing parallels between his experience and scenarios discussed in the court's ruling on retaliatory arrests for minor infractions. The Eighth Circuit panel initially ruled against Murphy, demanding more evidence that his treatment differed from others committing similar infractions. However, dissenting opinions highlighted the difficulty of obtaining such evidence without further investigation. Judge L. Stephen Grash dissented, supporting Murphy's claim that the law was not regularly enforced. He noted that pre-discovery, the evidence needed to prove the irregularity of his arrest would not be accessible to Murphy. The case now heads back to the Eighth Circuit for reconsideration. Murphy's legal team hopes to establish that his arrest was retaliatory, based on the lack of usual enforcement of the statute he allegedly violated. The outcome of this case could set a precedent for similar lawsuits, potentially reshaping how retaliatory arrests are addressed in the future. Murphy's fight continues to symbolize broader issues of civil rights and police accountability.
Haunted by high prices and big government? Don't be a ghost of your former self this Halloween. We've got shirts that'll keep the ghouls and the government off your back. Inflation's scarier than any haunted house, but hey, why not turn it into a costume? Or how about our spooky government shirt? Guaranteed to spook anyone who's afraid of too much power. But if you're feeling real edgy, nothing says Halloween like our Michael Myers No Lives Matter shirt. Cause when it comes to big government, we all get slashed. At 4libertyshop.com, we believe in freedom, not fear. So grab your libertarian Halloween gear before the government takes an extra bite out of your wallet. Or your candy. 4libertyshop.com. Let's make Halloween tax-free.
Hello, this is Barack Obama, and let me tell you why Austin Peterson stinks, and you should never pay attention to anything that he has to say. First of all, he's a libertarian, and we all know libertarians are idiots. They don't realize how important government is to everything that we do. I recently became aware that Austin has opened up a libertarian shop at apforlibertyshop.com. Now, I'm asking you as a personal favor to me that you never ever visit apforlibertyshop.com. With all of the great Liberty merchandise there, the last thing that we need to do is to get people spreading this message around the country, because then they might start thinking that they don't need government. And that's the last thing that good Democrats like us want. So if you love democracy, like me, and hate freedom, then don't visit AP for Liberty Shop. Like I said, whatever you do, do not visit apforlibertyshop.com. I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice.
It is better to settle these matters in the courts than on the streets, and new laws are needed at every level. But law alone cannot make men see right.